Welcome, Tailgate Legends, to this Victory Thursday. It is Thursday. I'm a little late on the video this week, but I'm working a shit ton of hours, and I'm tired of shit. I got a cold. So, but I'm getting it out, all right? So, got a great video for you today. Going to talk about last week's matchups. Let you know, I love the playoffs. I will say that was as anticlimactic of a playoff week as I've ever seen. Pretty much blowouts in every game. And then we'll do a little more in-depth analysis on the 4 matchups that we have this week. So there are 4 teams on byes. They're going to be on byes the rest of the season going forward. Please make sure you continue to set your lineups because you are still going for weekly high score. However, seeds number 4, 5, 6, and 7. Once you lose, that just goes, and then I just start the tiebreaker process. So I believe it'll be Burns with the 5th pick, Yacht with the 6th pick, and then Evan with the 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. Evan with the 6th pick. Or 7th pick, sorry, and then Prusky with the 8th pick. Yeah, that's how it is. Okay, so last week, we'll start with the Turd Bowl, the Burnt Out Bowl, I think is actually called. I gotta fucking start renaming some shit here because this is getting ridiculous. I gotta rename divisions, these fucking bowl games and shit. Okay. So we're gonna start with Third Degree Burns against Ricky 2000. Like I said, games are kind of blowouts. Ricky 2000 won by 36, 37, 38 points. Burns put up fucking 78 points. I feel like you definitely did some shit in your lineup to spite me. Not that I wouldn't have done the same, but whatever. Ricky 2000 only put up 116, very beatable, but Burns just kind of like all year, just, can't put up fucking points. So, okay, so Ricky 2000 moves on, and he will face Cheeseheads with Attitude, Landon, who will have a better shot at him than Burns did. And then we had Yacht Pump and Munch against Fat Bottom Girlies. Again, Fat Bottom Girlies, 173. Yacht, 123. I said it. Boggs was one of those. It was one of those teams I just did not want to see. Kind of like Prusky. But I got Greasers. We'll see what happens. We'll get into that a little later. But so now we have Fat Bottom Girlies against Mr. Fist to round out the Turd Bowl. All right. So the championship bracket. I know it's really disappointing for a couple teams. It's been disappointing for me a lot of fucking years. We had Shit the Bed Fred against Greasers. Shit the Bed Fred, in classic fashion, shit the bed. 119, more times than not, especially in the playoffs, 119 is not going to get it done. Greasers put up 163. That's a hell of a week. If they put up 163 against me, I don't know if I'm winning. We'll see. And then we had Hot Chub Time Machine against Evan Shear. Again, Lemke put up 111. Evan put up 151. Again, you put up 111 in the championship bracket, you're probably not going to win. It sucks. There's nothing you can do about it. But, it is what it is. So I don't have any other segment. We're going to bust right into next week's predictions. I'm going to do a little bit of in-depth analysis here. We'll start with the Turd Bowl. Sorry, guys. We have Fat Bottom Girlies against Mr. Fist. So far, this is what the starting lineups look like. Boggs, we have Breeze, Gurley, A.J. Brown, who has been on a tear, John Brown, maybe top 3 most underrated receivers in the league this year. Golden Tate, Michael Thomas, Ryan Griffin, Young Ho, and Packers defense against the Bears. And then on the other side, we have Mr. Fist, Gar, Baker Mayfield against Arizona. That could go either way. He does have Phillip Rivers against the Vikings. Yeah, you kind of got to go Baker there. That sucks. Duke Johnson. That sucks. Robbie Anderson. Yeah, okay. Odell. Yeah. DJ Chark. I thought he was hurt. So he is going to miss practice today. So he's questionable. So he might miss. And then N'Keal Harry, Darren Waller, Joey Sly, Saints defense against the Colts. I think it's kind of a no-brainer. I'm going to go Boggs with this one. Breeze against the Colts. Gurley against the Cowboys. I feel like Gurley could have a huge, huge day. A.J. Brown has been on a tear. John Brown is consistent as shit. Golden Tate against the Dolphins. And then Michael Thomas. Doesn't even matter who they play. So, yeah, I'm going to take Boggs in that one. In a landslide. Whatever. Okay, next we have Ricky 2000 against Cheeseheads with Attitude. All right, so Roofer. Deshaun Watson against Tennessee. Chris Carson against Carolina. Mark Ingram against the Jets. Christian Kirk, DJ Moore, Tyrell Williams, Jack Doyle, Will Lutz, and the Bills D against the Steelers. And then on the other side, we have Matt Ryan against the Niners. That's tough. Ronald Jones against the Lions. That's still tough because Peyton Barber is still getting some work. Philip Lindsay against the Chiefs. I like that. Jamison Crowder. Yeah. If Sam Darnold's in, you kind of have to start Jamison Crowder with with the team that he has. Larry Fitzgerald, Jarvis Landry, Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz could be in for a huge day. That could be, if Landon has a chance in this one, it's because Matt Ryan has a good game, obviously, and Zach Ertz tears it up. Alshon Jeffrey is officially out. Zach Ertz is pretty much the only person Carson Wentz has left. So we'll see. And then Kaimi Fairbairn. And then the Chiefs D against the Broncos. I mean, I'm going to take Roofer in this one. I think Landon has a chance. And I don't know if this is a blowout. It might be a blowout, though. Chris Carson could have a huge fucking day. Oof. Yeah, it might be a blowout. I don't know. I'm taking Roofer, though. All right, so on to the next. I'm going to start with my matchup against Greasers. So, Greasers, you have Carson Wentz against the Redskins. Fuck. And then you have Le'Veon Bell against the Ravens. James Conner against the Bills. Leonard Fournette against the Raiders. That's probably your best matchup. Tyreek Hill against the Broncos. Tyreek Hill is a stud no matter who he plays. And then DeAndre Hopkins against the Titans. Again, Hopkins is a stud no matter who he plays. That's a damn good lineup. And then on top of that, you have Jared Cook, Jason Myers, and the Browns defense. Browns defense against the Cardinals. That could go either way. You never know. And then he does have Daniel Jones against the Dolphins. Ooh, I wonder if you're considering Daniel Jones against the Dolphins. Carson Wentz has a lot of weapons out. It's a tough call. And then Matt Breida against the Falcons. That's tough. And then Devontae Freeman against the Niners. Zach Pascal, Josh Reynolds, Robert Woods. Okay, so you got some options there. So this is not necessarily your starting lineup. James Conner might not even play. Yeah, you definitely have some options. You got some shit to think about here. And then on the other side, we have Russell Wilson against the Panthers. It's not a terrible matchup. Ezekiel Elliott against the Rams. I like that part. Joe Mixon against the Patriots. Joe Mixon has been playing pretty well, but I do not like this matchup. If Joe Mixon got me 5 or less points, it would not surprise me one bit. Would not surprise me one bit if he got me less than 5 points or even 10 points. You know, like he gets me less than 10 points, would not surprise me. But kind of had to start him. And then Amari Cooper against the Rams. That one scares me because Jalen Ramsey is going to be shadowing Amari Cooper. Do not like that. With Mike Evans being out, I don't really have a choice. Kind of do or die time. Right now, there's certain guys right now you fucking ride or die with. These are the guys that got you there. Amari Cooper is one of those guys. He's been a stud for me most of the year. Couple of down games, but for the most part, he's been a fucking stud. It's one of those things. Don't get cute. I have to start Amari Cooper, but I'm not going to like it. And then we have Cooper Kupp against the Cowboys, and I like that matchup. Robert Woods been getting a lot of work, though. I don't know. We'll see. It's hit or miss. And then as of right now, I have Sterling Shepard in my lineup against the Dolphins because of the Mike Evans injury. Of course, that would fucking happen on my bye week. And then Mark Andrews against the Jets. I believe he's going to play this tonight, actually. Hopefully. Fucking fingers crossed. And then Justin Tucker. And then the Patriots defense against the Bengals. And I like that matchup. And the Patriots defense, first of all, they already have all of Zach Taylor's signals, for one. Andy Dalton sucks, so that's great. So hopefully Andy Dalton throws a couple pick sixes. You never know. And then a couple options I have. Kyler Murray against the Browns. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. And then Michael Gallup against the Rams. There's a piece of me that thinks that Michael Gallup could have a better week than even Amari Cooper because Jalen Ramsey is going to be on Amari Cooper the whole fucking time, and then that might open things up for Gallup. So hard to do, though. And then Terry McLaurin against the Eagles. Terry McLaurin hasn't been a stud since week 6. He's had a couple double-digit point games. Last week he had 15 points against the Packers on 7 targets. The Eagles are atrocious against the pass. I might start Terry McLaurin. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know. Sterling Shepard against the Dolphins. The Dolphins' pass defense is also atrocious. However, I don't know. He also had 7 targets last week, but only 4 catches for 28 yards. And that was against the Eagles' defense. So we'll see. And then I could go, that's pretty much it, Michael Gallup or Terry McLaurin. And then Zane Gonzalez. I might put in Zane Gonzalez against the Browns defense as opposed to Justin Tucker. Again, I don't know. I got to make that decision quick because Justin Tucker plays tonight. So, yeah. Okay, so on to the next. And actually, in this matchup, I am going to take me in a very, 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 very close one. I think the final score ends up being 135 to 132. That's my guess. If Gracers beat me, obviously it wouldn't surprise me. We're both in the championship bracket. Both have really good teams. Both have dominant players. Anything could happen here. And then on the other side, we have Evan Shearer against Weiler. So Evan, we have Jameis Winston against the Lions. Delvin Cook against the Chargers. David Montgomery against the Packers. I love all 3 of those matchups. Jameis Winston, he might throw a pick 6. He's probably at least going to throw 2 picks. The only thing you worry about with Jameis Winston is fucking getting benched. Because you know that shit could happen. And then Chris Godwin against the Lions. Love that. Calvin Ridley, obviously you are not starting because he's not playing. So you have Travis Kelce and George Kittle in. Josh Lambo and the Ravens D against the Jets. Oh, man, that's a good matchup. Who are you going to start? So your other options at receiver, obviously you cannot start Calvin Ridley. Julian Edelman, Adam Thielen if he plays. That's pretty much it. You could start both of those guys. I mean, Julian Edelman's against the Bengals. Adam Thielen against the Chargers. What's his status right now? Let's take a little look-see here. Limited in Wednesday's practice. So he's questionable. But he did get some practice time in today, and it's Thursday, so he's still got a few days. You got to think Adam Thielen's going to play, especially with this playoff push. Not Evan's playoff push, the Vikings playoff push. And then, those are pretty much your only options, I think. James White. You could go James White against the Bengals, too. It's not the worst option. And then on the other side, we have Weiler. Lamar Jackson against the Jets. Lamar Jackson will go for a 50-burger. That's the one thing about Weiler's team. You have Lamar Jackson way up here, and then the rest of his team is like down here. They're good. He's got like good players, but he doesn't have a ton of elite talent other than Lamar Jackson. Like right now he has Austin Eckler and Melvin Gordon in. Okay, one of those two guys is not going to have a good game. And the other one, they're playing the Vikings. Neither of them might not have a good game. However, one of them probably will. They always do. And then the other one won't. So how high can your ceiling be? You know, and you're playing Evan, who has a really good team. However, he has two fucking tight ends in his lineup. So maybe you do go Austin Eckler or Melvin Gordon because he can. And then you also have Keenan Allen. All three of those and you have, I thought you had somebody, I thought you had their kicker too. You got Brandon McManus, but you have all three of those guys going up against the fucking Vikings defense. I don't like that at all. One of those guys will blow up, one of those three guys, and the other two mediocre games. How high can your ceiling really be with all three of those guys? Then you have Kenny Golladay, stud, playing against the Buccaneers. I think Kenny Golladay will have a huge game. Emmanuel Sanders, the first week he was with the Niners, had a really good week, and then he kind of plateaued a little bit until last week. He had a monster week again, so you never know. And then Kyle Rudolph, very low ceiling. Brandon McManus against the Chiefs. Yeah, we'll see. And then the Steelers defense against Buffalo. You got to like that matchup too. So the other options you have are Kareem Hunt. You could go Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, Sony Michel. Yeah, Sony Michel is tough. But Kareem Hunt has been getting some work. James Washington. I don't know if I'm not doing that. Kareem Hunt. That's really your only other option at running back or receiver. So you never know. I don't know. Maybe you do go Eckler and Gordon. I don't know. Kareem Hunt or Austin Eckler. Austin Eckler's ceiling is probably higher. His floor is probably higher too. Same with Melvin Gordon. So I don't know. But combined, ceilings just aren't that high. So in this one, I am going to take Evan. I'm going to take Evan. I think Jameis Winston, as many interceptions as he throws, he's still a top scoring quarterback in this league because all they fucking do is chuck. But I don't know. With Mike Evans out, maybe not. You're going to get double coverage on Chris Godwin all of a sudden. Oh, man. Yeah, all of a sudden you can't, Mike Evans got a lot of double teams. Chris Godwin was in single coverage damn near every play. So I don't know. Maybe they get to double Chris Godwin, and Jameis Winston all of a sudden is throwing to O.J. Howard again and Cameron Braid. I don't know. Maybe I put Cameron Braid in my lineup over Mark Andrews. Probably not. But so in this one, I am going. I am going to take Evan still. Dalvin Cook. He's been riding that Dalvin Cook train all year. Dalvin Cook against the Chargers could have a fucking monster game. We'll see. But I'm going to take Evan. Okay. So that's all I got. Remember, you can do waivers. I fixed it. There were a couple people who got the site like automatically does shit and it pisses me off. But some people couldn't pick up some people on waivers. But we will run waivers through next weekend. So and then after next weekend, I'll fix up the site and just kind of clear some rosters and get the off season going. Honestly, I don't know if that's like my jinx in the playoffs. I love the off season so much. I just love rebuilding, just kind of getting that overview of what your team could look like going into the NFL draft, what your needs are. I have 3 first rounders. I really wish that either Yacht or fucking Burns would have won their matchup. But they didn't, so I will have the 5th and 6th pick, and then whatever pick I end up with. But I love the offseason, get through the playoffs. If you have any questions, hit me up. I know some of the shit is confusing come playoff time about what you can and can't do, but shoot me a text, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So, yeah, again, good luck, everybody, and talk to you next week, hopefully as a happy man.